Hello everybody, it's Bill's that college football guy. Here in that video, yes, the stories of week 14. A little bit late on this one, but life got in the way. Like Thanksgiving happened. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Hope everybody was thankful for something. I'm very thankful. First off, I didn't say this on the video, but thanks to everyone with the well wishes and prayers and sent toward my wife. Found out on Thanksgiving Day that the doctor told her that if she had waited one day more to go in because she had sepsis, didn't tell me, I wouldn't have been visiting her in the hospital. I've been visiting her in the mortuary. She was 12 to 24 hours away from dying. That's how close it got. That's how bad this was. So you got infections and whatnot, don't change. I'll just take care of them. Okay, especially if you're diabetic, please do that. But this is rivalry weeks, the week that some of us wait all season long for college football. So here we got here. Now, normally I put out the polls on X and YouTube, but which games you want. There are so damn many. I didn't put out the poll because I wanted to get to all of them, and I'm making picks on all of them. I'm going to get my ass barbecued here. All right, so we're going with the games here. We got some Friday games, some Saturday games, but I'm just going to go just through and just run through here the ones that have importance to whether it's a rivalry game, traditional rivalry game, has bowl implications, conference championship implications. There's quite a few that have all of those. So first off, we're starting off with the Egg Bowl. Ole Miss at Mississippi State. Ole Miss is a 7.5-point favorite. We all hear the stories with Lane Kiffin. It's just the distractions have got to be absolute nightmare. But then again, this is 2 years in a row for this. Odds are indicating he may be leaving to go to LSU, but nobody's going to know anything about this until after this game, which is on a Friday, today. Mississippi State has a chance to really throw a monkey wrench into things and really screw things up for Ole Miss because they kind of need this game too because Mississippi State gets to win here. They're bowl eligible. So they're not fighting just to beat Ole Miss. They're fighting to go to a bowl game. So they got a little bit something extra here. Is it going to be enough? Even with all the distractions, I don't think so. I'm going to take Ole Miss and lay the 7.5. Utah against Kansas. Utah is still in the race, the mathematical formulas and everything else for the Big 12 championship. And Kansas, well, they have something to fight for too. Because not only can they screw Utah out of the Big 12 championship game, any chance of that, in case of BYU or Texas Tech loses, Kansas can go to a bowl game if they win. So it's a little bit something extra. We're going to screw you over and go to a bowl game. Oh, 2 for the price of 1. So Utah's a 10.5-point favorite. Are they going to be able to beat Kansas? Yeah, I think they're going to beat Kansas, and I think they're going to cover the 10.5. So give me Utah minus 10.5. Ohio at Buffalo. This is the one race right now, like the MAC right now. Western Michigan won earlier. They're in the conference championship game in Detroit Ford Field. They're there. Who are they playing? That depends on who wins and what happens. It's a mathematical, just a whole bunch of stuff, moving parts. Ohio plays Buffalo. Ohio needs to win this game to stay in it. Buffalo has a chance to play spoiler. And Buffalo has a chance to also, if they win, they're in a bowl game. 3 in a row where a team pull the upset and can become bowl eligible. That little something extra. Ohio's favored by 6.5. I think they're going to win this on the road in Buffalo. This is a tough game to play, and this is going to be close, and I agonize over this one because Buffalo can play up to a certain opponents. They do. But I'm going to take Ohio and lay the 6.5. Oh, the battle for the Ram Falcon Trophy. Oh, my. I think I forgot about this. Air Force at Colorado State. We know that Jim Mora has left UConn, is becoming the new head coach of Colorado State. So Tyson Summers, the defensive coordinator, this is his last game at the helm. Just Colorado State's not going to a bowl. This is his last run. And the players want to do something for him. Neither one of these teams are going to a bowl game. Both of them want, this is a rivalry game. They both want the trophy. But I think Air Force is favored by 2.5. And Colorado State has looked bad. But I think the players are going to dig down for a little bit something extra to send out Coach Summers with a win. So I'm taking Colorado State plus 2.5, and I think they win the game outright. Ah, yes. Clean, old-fashioned hate. One of the oldest rivalries around. What the hell rivalry is this? This is Georgia against Georgia Tech, which is not going to be at Georgia Tech's field in Atlanta. It's going to be neutral site, but in it, Georgia Tech, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, but not on campus. Georgia Tech is still involved. Both these teams, this is postseason implications for both of them. For Georgia Tech, actually mainly Georgia's already won their SEC games. They're already in. They're already the best they can do. Georgia Tech needs this game to stay in the ACC race because their stumble they just had knocked them out of the ACC championship game. They need to win to stay in it, and hopefully SMU and Virginia, one of them, lose so they can stay in this. They need to win this game badly. And last year was the crazy game when Georgia beat Georgia Tech 45-42 in 8 overtimes. Now Georgia Tech has something to play for, and Georgia wants to get in the SEC championship game because they're going to have to make, and just to have that positive, doesn't affect that, but they want to have the positive momentum going forward. Who's going to win this game? Well, Georgia is favored by 13.5. I think Georgia's going to win, but I don't think they're going to cover that 13.5. So give me Georgia Tech in the points, but I think Georgia's going to win the game. San Diego State at New Mexico. Oh boy. This is conference championship implications for both. San Diego State wins, they're in. It's a win and they're in. They beat New Mexico, they're in the Mountain West Championship game. That's simple. New Mexico needs to win to still be alive in the mathematical formula. So they need a win. So both of them are trying to get to the conference championship game, and one's got to beat the other. New Mexico needs help, and if they beat San Diego State State wins and they're in. San Diego State is a 1.5-point road favorite. That's not that impressive, considering how good San Diego State has been. What am I thinking? Give me New Mexico, and I'll lay the 1.5. I think they're going to pull off the upset and beat San Diego State. Temple at North Texas. This is another one. Coach Morris has one of the coaching hires I predicted. I still thought it was crazy that he was going to go to Oklahoma State. Well, he has, but he's finishing out the year at North Texas. A win and they're in. Basically, it is they need the win to get in the American Championship game. They need the win. Bottom line, they need it. A win and they're in. This is a major situation here. Temple has a chance to pull off the upset here, screw up North Texas's champions, making the championship game, and if they win, they're bowl eligible. Another one of these situations where a bowl team can pull off the upset and become bowl eligible. That little something extra. North Texas is favored by 20.5. Is there going to be distractions? Yes. But I still think they're more than enough to cover the 20.5. So give me North Texas minus 20.5. Boise State at Utah State. Boise State needs this win to be in the Mountain West Championship game. They need this badly. Badly need this game to win this game. Utah State is basically, they're out of the conference championship race, but they could definitely play spoiler and ruin Boise State's season. Will they do it? Boise State is a 3.5-point road favorite. This is the time when Bronco Mendenhall shines. I'm taking Utah State and laying the 3.5. I think Utah State wins this outright. Battle for the Old Oaken Bucket. The Old Oaken Bucket. This is Indiana at Purdue. Indiana's a 27.5-point favorite. Oh, Lord. Coach Odom, you still regret leaving UNLV right now? Indiana needs this win. Basically, they win, they're in the Big Ten title game. So win and you're in for Indiana. That's simple. Win and you're in. Because they'll be undefeated in conference play. They win and they're in. They need this badly. Purdue has a chance to play spoiler. Are they? No. Is Indiana going to cover the 27.5? Yeah, Coach Signetti wants to send a message going into the postseason. So I'm taking Indiana and I'm laying the 27.5. The Lone Star Showdown. Oh boy, Texas A&M at Texas. It's been a while, but we love this game. Texas A&M wins this game. They're in the SEC championship game. It's a win and you're in. Texas, they have no shot at the SEC championship. But they could play spoiler and ruin A&M's day and possibly knock them out of the SEC championship game. Oh, boy. Can Arch Manning and the boys pull off the upset? A&M's favored by 2.5 on the road. I think they're going to pull it off. I think A&M's going to win by more than 2.5. So give me A.5 minus 2.5 on the road in Austin to win the Lone Star Showdown. This is when I did not write the point spread down. I'm ashamed for myself for that. The Battle for the Territorial Cup, the duel for the desert. Duel in the desert. Duel for the desert. Arizona and Arizona State. Arizona State needs this game to stay in the Big 12 championship game. Arizona wants... they're not involved in the Big 12 championship race, but they could ruin Arizona State's day. I forgot what the point spread is. I don't care. Arizona State's beating Arizona at home. Next up, the game. Simply that. The game. Ohio State at Michigan. Ohio State's a 9.5-point road favorite. Both schools battling this game. Both schools are involved in the Big Ten title race. Michigan needs to beat Ohio State to get a shot to get a chance to get in the title game. And it's a big step forward if they do. They need that. Ohio State winning their in. Ohio State has lost 4 straight to Michigan. There's not going to be no Chip Kelly doing boneheaded playing calling to out Michigan. No. This is Ohio State trying to avoid losing 5 in a row to Michigan. And they can't stand it. They cannot stand it. Ohio State minus 9.5. What I think they're going to do? I think this is the year they finally decide to pull out the butt whooping. I'm picking Ohio State by 14 or more. Ohio State to cover the 9.5 and beat Michigan, end the streak, and punch their ticket to the Big Ten championship. Texas Tech at West Virginia. Texas Tech can clinch a spot in the Big 12 title game with this win on the road. But this is going all the way up to Morgantown. And weird things happened up there. West Virginia's playing the role of spoiler. Can they pull it off and upset Texas Tech? No. Texas Tech is going to win this game. But I'm taking West Virginia in the points. The 23.5, I think they're going to win 14, 17, 21 points. I don't think they'll win by more than that. I think it's going to be a closer game at home. This is West Virginia's final game of the season. They're going to put a little something extra in. I think they'll win. No, Texas Tech's going to win, but they're not going to cover. So give me West Virginia plus 23.5. Miami at Pitt. Both schools need a win to get in the ACC championship game picture. If they have to hope for Virginia and SMU to lose, the winner of this game still has a shot. The loser is out. So this is a very important game for both of them. How bad do you want it? Pitt's at home. Miami's on the road. Miami's a 6.5-point favorite, and they want to come in. This is the spot where Pitt screws things up. They've done it every single year. At time when they go in this game in here, we can go in there and Pitt's going to screw things up. So I'm picking Pitt, and I'm taking Pitt minus 6.5, and I think they're going to beat Miami outright and really mess things up. All right, the battle for the Governor's Cup. Kentucky at Louisville. Louisville, 2.5-point home favorite. Kentucky needs this win. Kentucky wins the game, they're bowl eligible. They need the win. Louisville wants to strengthen their position going in and beat Kentucky for second straight season. Who's going to get it done? Louisville's getting it done. I'm taking Louisville, and I'm laying the 2.5. Houston at Baylor. Houston, 8-win team, trying to win their 9th game of the season, wants to get back on the winning track in this rivalry because they lost to Baylor last year. Baylor wants to win their second straight against Houston this year, and if they win, they're bowl eligible. Houston's trying to make herself in a positive direction. They're 8-3, trying to become 9-3. Baylor's, we've got 8-3 against 5-6. Baylor's a 2.5-point home favorite. They got a little bit something extra today, and I think they're going to pull off the upset. Give me Baylor, and I'm laying the 2.5. Colorado at Kansas State. This game came up for one reason. There are rumors and reports. Innuendo. Didn't report this in the coaching search video. That Deion's agent has reached out to various people backdoor from Florida State that if Norvell leaves Florida State, he's interested. He's interested in the job. So there's a little bit of distraction at Colorado. It's been a very disappointing season. Kansas State, who started off, 1-4? I mean, they were terrible. Believe it or not, folks, they've been on a run. They win this game, they're bowl eligible. So they got something to play for. And they're at home in Manhattan. They are 6.5-point home favorites. You know what? I think K-State gets it done, and they cover the spread. Give me Kansas State minus 6.5. Y'all going bowling. All right, East Carolina at Florida Atlantic. FAU, East Carolina badly needs this game. They are still mathematically in the race to to get a spot in the American Championship game. They need this win badly. They've stumbled recently. FAU can play the role of spoiler. Can Olivia Home cooking down in Coral Gables in Florida Atlantic pull it off and pull off the upset? East Carolina's a 6.5-point road favorite. I think East Carolina's going to send a message and stomp the foot on FAU. I'm picking East Carolina to cover the 6.5 easily. Toledo at Central Michigan. This is a real simple situation with Toledo and Central Michigan. If you win, you're still in the race. You lose to go to the MAC. You're in the race to the MAC championship and in a damn good position. You lose, you're out. You want to go to the MAC conference championship game, you have to win this game. That simple. Very important game for Toledo and Central Michigan. It's at Central Michigan. Toledo, though, was a 10.5-point road favorite, and I think they're going to cruise to this one. Give me Toledo, and I'm laying the 10.5. Ball State at Miami of Ohio. Miami of Ohio, another school that is in the race for the MAC championship, and they need this win to mathematically stay in this. Will Ball State play the role of spoiler in this game? I don't think so. I'm taking Miami of Ohio, and I think they're going to cover the 17.5. UCF at BYU. BYU is simple. They win, they're in. They win this. They beat UCF at home. They're going to the Big 12 championship. That simple. No guesswork. UCF needs a win to be bowl eligible. So they got a little something to play for themselves and screwing up BYU's day. But remember we had it a couple years ago? I made a lot of money off of this. When BYU Utah went to Florida, and Utah was ranked, Florida wasn't. I said Florida was going to win because the travel going from up high down to the swamp. Utah's going to lose. Oh, they're not. Well, and Florida's going to win. No, Florida's not going to win. Florida won. Now Florida's going back to Utah. Florida's going to win 2 in a row. No, altitude's going to screw up Florida. Utah's going to win. What happened? Utah won. Well, now you got UCF and Orlando traveling all the way up to Provo. Or excuse me, this way, all the way up to Provo. Down here, up to here. Just, no. I'm taking BYU and I'm laying the 17.5, and they're punching their ticket to the Big 12 championship. UTEP at Delaware. Delaware, first year in FBS. They win, they're bowl eligible. Are they going to get to a bowl game? If there's not enough schools to have enough bowl invites, them and Missouri State both can petition to be bowl eligible. Missouri State's in the conference championship race, but they're ineligible because it's their first year. But Delaware can be bowl eligible. Now we're talking about travel. How about El Paso, Texas to Newark, Delaware? That's how far UTEP's got to travel. Delaware's a 4.5-point favorite, and I think they're going to cover easily. Give me Delaware the 4.5. Y'all bowl eligible. Georgia Southern at Marshall. Both schools are 5 and 6. The winner goes to a bowl game. How bad do you want it? It's that simple. Both schools 5 and 6. You win, you're bowling. You lose, your season's over. So they both got something to play for. Marshall's a 10.5-point home favorite. Georgia heading up to Huntington. Can Georgia Southern get it done? Nah, I'm picking Marshall. I'm laying the 10.5. Western Kentucky at Jacksonville State. This is postseason implications, period. Winner of this game will not only be in the Conference USA Championship game, but they will host it. The loser is still eligible if other things go wrong, and there could be a rematch, because these two played each other last year in the last game of the regular season and had a rematch in the Conference Championship game. Western Kentucky won at home and then lost at Jacksonville State in the Conference Championship game last year. Now it's at Jacksonville State in Jacksonville, Alabama, north of Birmingham. Western Kentucky's a 2.5-point road favorite. Western Kentucky's played well. They played great against LSU, but they got beat up against LSU. Jacksonville State's at home, and that is a special environment down in Jacksonville, Alabama. So give me Jacksonville State plus 2.5. I'm thinking they're picking them to win the game outright. The Palmetto Bowl. Here we go. Clemson at South Carolina. Clemson, they're bowl eligible. They want to get things on track. They want to get back to where they want to be. They want to get that way. South Carolina, remember, beat Clemson last year. They'd like to win 2 state in this rivalry, and Shane Beamer, the South Carolina head coach, would like to keep his job because if Clemson embarrasses him, and they've only got 4 wins on the year, he's not in the hot seat either for this season or next year he could get fired. He needs this win to make sure he stays positive in the eyes of the South Carolina administration and the boosters. He needs this win bad. Both schools want the win for different reasons. South Carolina is a 3.5-point home favorite. I've watched South Carolina play. I've watched Clemson play. Give me Clemson plus 3.5. I don't know what they're thinking on this one. I think Clemson's going to come in and win by a touchdown. Okay, another game with bowl implications. Arkansas State at Appalachian State. Both schools are 5-6. The winner goes to a bowl game. The loser's season is over. How bad do you want it? That's simple. Who wants it more? Appy State at home, 1.5-point favorite. Arkansas traveling over to Boone, North Carolina. I'm taking Appalachian State minus 1.5. The battle on the Bayou. The battle for the wooden boot. UL Monroe at Louisiana. Louisiana needs a win to become bowl eligible. ULM not going bowling, but they can pull off the upset. Louisiana is trying to win their third straight against Louisiana Monroe. Will they be able to pull it off, or will ULM pull off the upset? Louisiana is a 9.5-point favorite. I think they're going to win and cover the 9.5. So it's going to be Louisiana minus 9.5. South Alabama at Texas State. Texas State, South Alabama season on there. They're not going to do anything. This is their last game of the year, so they can play spoiler because Texas State, they wins, they're going bowling. They need a win. They badly need a win. Can Texas State get it done and become bowl eligible, or will South Alabama play the spoiler? Texas State's a 9.5-point favorite. South Alabama does not play. I'm going to Texas State to win the game, but my pick is South Alabama plus 9.5. Texas State's going to win, but they're not going to cover by that much. It's just not. The fight for the forest. Oregon at Washington. Oh my. Oregon needs a win to stay in. They have to hope for Ohio State or Indiana to lose for them to have a shot to get in the Big Ten title game. Mainly Ohio State losing. Can they win their second in a row in this game? Or will Washington at home eliminate Oregon from the Big Ten championship picture, and the defending Big Ten champs will not be a chance to defend their title? Oregon is a 6.5-point road favorite, and I think they're going to win and cover the 6.5. So give me Oregon minus 6.5. One close to home. Vandy at Tennessee. Tennessee's chances to go to the SEC championship are out. Vanderbilt mathematically is still possible. They only have 2 losses. Tennessee has 3. Vandy needs the win to stay mathematically alive. Vandy says that Piave says we own Tennessee. You're not playing in Nashville. You're playing in Neyland. You're in Knoxville. And they are not going to be nice to you. You need this win. You need this huge road win to help you out. Because you get the win, you have a chance to see championship, and 2 losses, you have a shot to make the CFP. You lose this game, you're out. And Tennessee knows they're not making the playoff. They can knock Vanderbilt out and win their 7th straight against Vandy. Tennessee is a 2.5-point favorite. This is a damn close game. This might go overtime. It's a field goal game. I'm taking Tennessee minus 2.5. This is going to be a hell of a game. All right, the Battle Line rivalry, the battle for the Battle Line trophy. We're talking Missouri at Arkansas. Oh my. This game took a whole different turn because Arkansas's fired their head coach. Rumors are maybe Alex Golesh is getting hired to take the job. Missouri just re-signed Eli Drinkman so that way he doesn't go off to Florida. I mean, how bad would this be, folks? Missouri wants to win their 4th straight Battle Line trophy and keep it in Missouri. Keep it in Columbia. Though it was down to Fayetteville, this is at Arkansas. They want, how bad would this be? If Arkansas wins the Battle Line trophy, brings it back home to Fayetteville, and it becomes their first SEC win of the year. Arkansas is winless in SEC play. They beat Missouri, they get their first win. Think that wouldn't sting for next year? Just a little bit. Missouri is a 2.5-point road favorite. They think it's going to be a close game. This is going to have some fight because this is the last, this is basically is going to be, I'm totally blanking on his damn name. Mr. Motorcycle. I remember him later on. The interim head coach at Arkansas. He's still auditioning for the job. He needs this game because Arkansas can Can Arkansas pull it off? Bobby Petrino. Bobby Petrino. Can Bobby Petrino get the win possibly in his last game as head coach of Arkansas? No. I'm picking Missouri minus 2.5. Now that Drinkwitz is going anywhere, he's going to send a message that he's not going by putting his foot on Arkansas's throat. The battle for Paul Bunyan's axe. Wisconsin at Minnesota. Minnesota. Difference of years. Wisconsin's supposed to have been a good team. I thought they were going to be. Well, they're done. Minnesota thought to be 500. They're bowl eligible already and trying to improve on that and have more momentum going. Minnesota wants to keep the axe for the second straight year. Will they get it done? Or will Luke Fickell somehow get Wisconsin and the Badgers geared up to bring the axe back to Camp Randall? What's going to happen here? Wisconsin is a 1.5-point road favorite. No. I'm taking Minnesota plus 1.5, and I picked Minnesota to win it outright. All right, Penn State at Rutgers. This is another, talk about the situations on here. Rutgers is figured to be 500, maybe 7-5. Penn State was figured to be a lot better than this. Both are 5-6. You win, you're in a bowl game. You lose, you're out. Penn State has to win this game. You don't even make a bowl game and lose to Rutgers in Piscataway, New Jersey. Ooh. Penn State's a 13.5-point favorite. I think they're going to get a message done. I'm picking Penn State to win and cover the 13.5 and go to the bowl game. Wake Forest at Duke, the other North Carolina rivalry. I didn't cover North Carolina NC State because of anything implications to it, because Duke is still technically alive in the ACC championship race. Schools lose, they can get involved in this. They could still be in the race. So they need this win. Wake Forest they're already bowl eligible. They'd like to be able to screw the day up and eliminate Duke from the ACC championship consideration. Duke wants to beat Wake Forest for the fourth straight time. Are they going to do it? Duke's a 1.5-point home favorite. That means it's close. But I'm picking Duke and lay the 1.5. They'll get the win. Kennesaw State at Liberty. Kennesaw State on the road in Virginia, in Lynchburg. Kennesaw State will clinch a spot in the Conference USA Championship game if they beat Liberty on the road. Heading from Kennesaw, Georgia, outside of Atlanta, all the way to Lynchburg. Can Kennesaw State get it done on the road? They have not had a winning record since they've been in FBS. This is their first season. Now they're being serious, and now they're battling for a conference championship spot. Championship James spot. Can they do it, or will Liberty pull off the upset at home? Kennesaw State is a 1.5-point road favorite. I think they're going to get the win. I think they're going to get it done and punch their ticket to the conference championship game. Give me Kennesaw State and laying 1.5. Troy at Southern Miss. This is an elimination game, a playoff game, essentially. What are you talking about? Sunbelt's the only conference left that still does divisions. James Madison, we already know they're battling for the G5 playoff spot. Playing for that the fifth playoff spot. They're battling for that. And they're doing a damn good job of it. That G5 spot. That fifth playoff spot. They're battling for it. James Madison's won the East Division of the Sun Belt. The West Division is a tie between Troy and Southern Miss. The winner of this game goes to the Sun Belt Championship. The loser is not. You want to battle for the championship? Win this damn game. Can all those Marshall players and that coaching staff went to Southern Miss? Can they pull it and get it done? Or is Troy going to play spoiler and go back to where they've been for a long damn time and at the Sun Belt Championship game? Southern Miss is a 6.5-point home favorite. I'm going to take Southern Miss and lay the 6.5, but it wouldn't surprise me one bit if Troy won this game. Not at all. Army at UTSA. Army, they're 5-5, so they still have the Army-Navy game left. Army needs a win to be bowl eligible. They need a win. They're 5-5. They want to win. UTSA they are undefeated in conference play in the American since they've joined it at home. They not only beat people, they demolish them. The Alamo Dome is a hostile environment in conference play. Army is a 7.5-point dog to UTSA. Can Army go on the road and get the bowl win and end UTSA's undefeated streak at home in conference play? No. I'm taking UTSA and I'm laying the 7.5, and Army's going to have to beat Navy to get bowl eligible. The battle for the McCalla Trophy. Part of the Governor's Cup, which Miami won. Florida State, I believe they won. Florida State at Florida. Oh my, Florida State, they're 5-6. They need the win to go bowl eligible. Florida, not even sniffing a bowl game. Mike Norvell needs this game. Because if he loses to Florida, yeah, he might very well be getting canned. He needs to win this game, be bowl eligible, salvage the season. If he loses to Florida, Florida wins their second straight with an interim head coach in Gainesville, at home in the swamp. Florida State can't let it happen. Florida is actually a 1.5 point favorite. This is going to be a fight. The question is DJ Lagway and everybody interested in playing? Florida State's got something to play for. Florida, not as much. Give me Florida State plus 1.5, and I think they beat Florida outright and go to a bowl game. Now a game I'm probably doing the most on. A game that's already been played once this year. We're talking about Oregon State at Washington State. That game was deemed by the Pac-12 as a non-con. Doesn't count. Don't care what ESPN and everybody else says that Oregon State's 1-0 in conference play. No, they're not. That game was deemed a non-con. This game in Pullman is the Pac-12 championship game. Bottom line. The winner of this game is the Pac-12 champion. That simple. And there's also reasons for, like Washington State. Oregon State, like last year, underperforming. Washington State wins this game, they're bowl eligible. So, Oregon State does not have a head coach. They're an interim head coach. They're trying the coaching search, trying to get that done. Supposedly supposed to be getting close. Washington State, first year under their new head coach. And here, it comes down to this. Can Washington State win this game, become bowl eligible, and become a Pac-12 champion for the first time since 2002 when they split the title with USC? Or is Oregon State going to win their third straight, sweep this season, like I predicted Oregon State to do, sweep this matchup, and become back-to-back Pac-12 champions? Washington State is a 13.5 point home favorite. They played well against James Madison. They also got exposed a little bit against James Madison. Oregon State has been off. Last week, they've had 2 weeks to gear up for this game. Washington State traveled cross-country, now going to come back after getting beat up a little bit and exposed. A little bit of things came out. I'm not changing my pick. Give me Oregon State plus the 13.5, and I think they're going to win the game outright. Sweep Washington State and become back-to-back Pac-12 champions. That's my pick. All right. The battle for the Commonwealth Cup. Virginia Tech at Virginia. Virginia winning the in. Basically. I mean, they can clinch a spot in the ACC championship game if they beat Virginia Tech at home. This will be the first time since 2019 that Virginia Tech's been in the ACC championship game when they got blown out by Clemson. The problem is here, Virginia playing good, Tony Elliott head coach, but Virginia Tech's owned them. They've won the last 4 straight. Can Virginia punch their ticket to the ACC championship game, or Virginia Tech play spoiler and beat Virginia for the 5th straight time? No. I'm taking Virginia, and I'm laying the 8.5, and they're punching their ticket to the ACC championship game. Rice at South Florida. South Florida is still mathematically possible in that formula, computer calculations, whatever the hell you want to call it, to get in the championship game of the American. Rice, they win, they're bowl eligible. Yeah, Rice can be bowl eligible with a win here. This is on here. Another one. Who do you want more? How bad does somebody want it? South Florida's a 28.5 point favorite. Yikes. I just don't see it. I'm going to take Rice plus the 28.5. I think South Florida's going to win. I just don't think they're going to cover that spread. It's just too much for me. Oh boy. The Iron Bowl. Alabama at Auburn. Alabama, like A&M, you win and you're in. They beat Auburn. They're in the SEC championship game, which will be in Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Auburn, they win, they're bowl eligible. One thing college football fans, you understand, if you're not an SEC fan, you know this. Jordan Hare is the craziest damn stadium in all of college football. Crazy crap that never happens every single year, and damn near every single one of this game, either for Auburn or against Auburn in this stadium. I do not know why. Like we got some spirits out there going like, now you're going to win this year, now you're going to lose this year. It's just weird. The miracle of Jordan Hare, the kick 6, 4th and 1 million, and Jalen Milroe completes the pass. Just It's crazy in this place. Can Auburn pull off the upset and beat Alabama, or the Crimson Tide win their 6th straight in this rivalry and punch their ticket to the SEC championship game? Alabama's only a 5.5-point favorite. This is a tough game. But I'm going to take Alabama and I'm going to lay the 5.5, and they're going to punch their ticket to the SEC championship game. Here we go. The battle for the victory bell. UCLA at USC. UCLA trying to figure out who their head coach is going to be. USC not in the race to be in the Big Ten championship, but they want to continue the positive momentum. Lincoln Riley wants to keep things going that way. UCLA wants to pull off the upset here and have the season end on a high note. Can USC win their 2nd straight and keep the victory bell at Southern Cal? SC is a 21.5-point favorite. UCLA is not performing well. I'm taking USC, and I'm laying the 21.5. Charlotte at Tulane. Tulane is one of the ones mathematically involved in the race for the American Championship game. They need a win to stay in it. Charlotte, this is their last game of the season. They want to play spoiler. But they are terrible. Terrible. Tim Albin, former Ohio head coach. You think you regret taking this job? Tulane is a 30.5-point favorite. And Charlotte is that bad, and that's that huge of a spread. I'm taking Tulane and laying the 30.5. I think they'll cover. The battle for the Land of Lincoln Trophy. We're talking Northwestern at Illinois. Illinois is a 7.5-point favorite. Both schools want to keep the season on a positive note. Both are going already to respective bowl games. Both are already bowl eligible, so this is just a rivalry game here. Northwestern wants to get it done and wants to bring the Land of Lincoln Trophy back to Northwestern. Or can Illinois win it and keep it for the 2nd straight year? Illinois, 7.5-point home favorite. I think Illinois is going to get it done, and I'm laying the 7.5. SMU at Cal. 2nd year in a row, SMU, you win, you're in. They win, they're in the ACC championship game for the 2nd year in a row. It's a win-and-you're-in scenario. Cal, no such thing. This is their first game after firing Justin Wilcox. We have seen some crazy things happen when coaches fire their head coach, and the next game for that team is at home. Well, Cal is at home against SMU. Traveling to Dallas. This could be disastrous. Can SMU punch their ticket to the ACC championship game, or Cal pull off one of the big, huge upsets and send the Cal fans home happy to end the season? SMU is a 13.5-point road favorite. Sorry, Cal, I'm picking SMU to win it and cover the 13.5. The Battle of Nevada. The battle for the Fremont Cannon. UNLV at Nevada in Reno. UNLV is mathematically still alive to be in the Mountain West Championship game. They need this win to stay in the race. Nevada can play spoiler. This is their last game of the year. They're at home. They want to paint the cannon blue. The winner of this one gets to paint the cannon. So, can Nevada pull off the upset, or will UNLV keep the cannon red for the 4th straight year? UNLV is a 7.5-point road favorite. Coach Mullen wants to have a positive momentum going forward. I'm picking UNLV and laying the 7.5. The battle for the Legends Trophy. Notre Dame at Stanford. Stanford trying to find their new head coach. Notre Dame, 2 losses. They can't lose this game. They get 3 losses with no conference championship. They're not making the CFP. They have to win this game. They have to beat Stanford on the road. Stanford wants to play the spoiler. They want to get this done and possibly have some positive momentum. Can they get this done? Can Stanford pull off the upset? Will Notre Dame keep the Legends Trophy for the 3rd straight season? Notre Dame is a 31.5-point favorite against Stanford. Notre Dame is going to win, but they're not covering 31.5 against Stanford. Stanford's at home. I think they're going to bring a little bit something extra, and Notre Dame's going to take their foot off the gas. I'm taking Stanford in the points, but I'm picking Notre Dame to win. The Battle of the Valley, the battle for the Valley Trophy. Fresno State and San Jose State. Fresno State is another one of those schools that's trying to keep the momentum going. They're not involved in the conference championship game in the Mountain West, but they want to end the season on a high note. San Jose State wants to end the season on a high note themselves. They're not making the postseason. They want to end the season. Both want to end it on a high note. Can San Jose State bring back home the Valley Trophy, or is Fresno State going to keep it for the second straight season? Fresno State's a 3.5-point home road favorite, and I'm picking Fresno State laying the 3.5. Last one, the battle for the Paniolo Trophy. Wyoming at Hawaii. Hawaii is mathematically in the formula still involved for the race for the Mountain West Championship. They want to win this game. They also want to win. This win would mean something more. It would be their 8th regular season win, something they haven't done since 2019 when they won 10 games. They want to have those wins going, stacking up. They want to have a positive momentum and keep this going. Wyoming wants to end the season on a high note. This is their final game. They're on the road from Laramie to Honolulu. Actually, I can't even put how far over Honolulu is. Or Laramie, actually, we might this way. Laramie's up about here. I'll get that on the camera. Where am I on the camera? Yeah, Laramie's about here. And Honolulu, I can't even go far enough left. How far that one is. Can Hawaii win their game and win the game, win their 8th straight of the year? Or is Wyoming going to keep the Paniolo Trophy for the 3rd straight season? They've won 2 straight against Hawaii. Can they get it done? Hawaii is an 8.5-point home favorite, and I think the trophy comes back home to the islands. I'm picking Hawaii and laying the 8.5. So, a lot of picks I had to go through on here because there's a lot of games. This is rivalry week. So, let me know what you think about all this down in the comments. So, thanks everybody for watching. If you haven't done it already, do me a favor. Smash the like button, hit the thumbs up. I greatly would appreciate it. It helps out the video, helps out the channel. Comments. I'm going to go through my picks again without all the extra explanations. You tell me what you think about all of them down in the comments. Egg Bowl. I'm picking Ole Miss minus 7.5 on the road at Mississippi State. I'm picking Utah minus 10.5 on the road at Kansas. I'm picking Ohio minus 6.5 on the road at Buffalo. Battle for the Ram Fan Trophy. I'm taking Colorado State plus 2.5 at home against Air Force. Clean Old Fashioned Hate. I'm taking Georgia Tech plus 13.5 neutral site Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. I'm taking New Mexico plus 1.5 at home against San Diego State. I'm picking North Texas minus 20.5 at home against Temple. I'm taking Utah State plus 3.5 at home against Boise State. Battle for the Old Oaken Bucket. I'm taking Indiana minus 27.5 on the road at Purdue. The Lone Star Showdown. I'm picking Texas A&M minus 2.5 on the road in Austin at Texas. The Duel in the Desert. This one I didn't write down the point spread for. Battle for the Territorial Cup. I'm taking Arizona State over Arizona and to cover the spread regardless of what the hell it is. The Game. I'm picking Ohio State minus 9.5 on the road in Ann Arbor at Michigan. I'm picking Texas Tech minus 23.5 on the road at Texas Tech win the game. West Virginia plus 23.5 on home against Texas Tech. I'm picking Pitt on the road minus 6.5 against Miami. The battle for the Governor's Cup. I'm picking Louisville minus 2.5 on home against Kentucky. I'm taking Baylor minus 2.5 at home against Houston. I'm picking Kansas State minus 6.5 at home against Colorado. I'm taking East Carolina minus 6.5 on the road against FAU. I'm picking Toledo minus 10.5 on the road at Central Michigan. I'm taking Miami, Ohio minus 17.5 at home against Ball State. I'm picking BYU minus 17.5 at home against BYU. I'm picking Delaware minus 4.5 at home against UTEP. I'm taking Marshall minus 10.5 at home against Georgia Southern. I'm picking Jacksonville State plus 2.5 at home against Western Kentucky. The Palmetto Bowl, I'm picking Clemson plus 3.5 on the road at South Carolina. I'm picking Appalachian State minus 1.5 at home against Arkansas State. Battle of the Bayou, the battle for the Wooden Boot. I'm picking Louisiana minus 9.5 at home against ULM, Louisiana Monroe. I'm taking South Alabama plus 9.5 on the road at Texas State. The Fight in the Forest. I'm taking Oregon minus 6.5 on the road at Washington. I'm taking Tennessee minus 2.5 at home against Vandy. The Battle Line Rivalry, the battle for the Battle Line Trophy. I'm picking Missouri minus 2.5 on the road at Arkansas. The battle for Paul Bunyan's axe. I'm taking Minnesota plus 1.5 at home against Wisconsin. I'm taking Penn State minus 13.5 on the road at Rutgers. I'm picking Duke minus 1.5 at home against Wake Forest. I'm taking Kennesaw State minus 1.5 on the road at Liberty. I'm taking Southern Miss minus 6.5 at home against Troy to punch their ticket to the Sun Belt Championship game. I'm taking UTSA minus 7.5 at home against Army. The battle for the McCullough Trophy, I'm taking Florida State plus 1.5 on the road at Florida in the Swamp. The Pac-12 Championship game, I'm picking Oregon State plus 13.5 to beat Washington State and to become back-to-back Pac-12 champions. The battle for the Commonwealth Cup, I'm picking Virginia minus 8.5 at home against Virginia. I'm picking Rice plus 28.5 on the road at South Florida, but South Florida wins. Iron Bowl, I'm picking Alabama minus 5.5 on the road at Jordan Hare at Auburn. The battle for the victory belt, I got USC at home, minus 21.5 against UCLA. I got Tulane, minus 30.5 at home against Charlotte. The battle for the Land of Lincoln Trophy, I've got Illinois, minus 7.5 at home against Northwestern. I got SMU, minus 13.5 on the road against Cal. The battle for the Fremont Cannon, the battle for Nevada, I got UNLV, minus 7.5 on the road at UNR at Nevada in Reno. Battle for the Legends Trophy, I've got Stanford plus 31.5 at home against Notre Dame, but Notre Dame wins. The Battle of the Valley, Battle for the Valley, the Battle for the Valley Trophy, I got Fresno State minus 3.5 against San Jose State. And the Battle for the Panoalo Trophy, I've got Hawaii minus 8.5 at home against Wyoming. Against Wyoming, that's right. Wyoming. Done enough talking. Good Lord. Let me know what you think about all this down in the comments. Like the video, check out some of the other ones I've done. If you like it, hey, subscribe to the channel. Got a lot of stuff going on in here. Trying to get the road to 2K. So thanks everybody for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this very long video picks, but there's a lot to get to. So thanks everybody for watching. Have a great day. Enjoy the college football. Enjoy this weekend. If you're sick, you've got an infection, and you can't treat it at home, it's not going away, go to the hospital, please. And please be good to each other.